I just want you to have a consistent schedule for the show. So the posts have to be value. There she is.
Hi, Evan.
It's great to have you here. Angela's part of the Movement Makers program, and I'm here to try to bring her as much value as possible. So what do we got? What are we talking about, Angela?
I wanted to ask you, so I've been doing the IG Lives, my IG Live show, and I want to continue doing that. And I feel like I know that I need help with the lead up to the show. Okay. I can post my little posts and everything, but my pictures and things like that of who's, who I'm doing the live with, but I don't know what else to do. Well, I mean, I think I know what to do, but I'm not sure really how to structure it. Do I do a video? Do I talk about what we're going to talk about?
What's the goal? You're just trying to get more eyes on it?
I want people to know a little bit about the person that I'm bringing on. I think that, or maybe not. Maybe you can help me. Like, what would be the best way to promote my live? I guess
is this
my scheduled lives that I have.
No, sorry. Is this the only time? Like, is this the main focus for your Instagram account? Is doing these lives?
Right now.
Okay.
No.
Yes. Then what I would do is do you have the set time, like every day at X time?
No, I've been scheduling them. I've just been scheduling them. I mean, I've only had 10. I have my 11th one on Thursday. We're having one then. And then I have I have one more this month, and then I have one that I want to schedule for this month. So I am trying to do more. I'm trying to schedule more.
How often can you commit to doing them for your own schedule and time and everything?
I hope to get it to the point where I'm doing it at least 3 to 5 times a week. I would like to be able to do that. Okay.
So I would create a schedule and then commit to sticking to that schedule at least for a month. I would love for you to go daily. I go daily. At 2 o'clock.
I know you do. And
I got lots on my plate too. But like if you said Monday to Friday, where are you based? Where's home for you?
I'm in Maryland.
So you're on the East Coast. Maryland's East Coast, right? Okay. I don't know my U.S. geography super well, but like daily, not 2 p.m. Eastern, because that's when I go live. But daily at whatever, like daily at 1 p.m. Eastern. Make it something flexible so that people can join you from both coasts, right? Like if you go live at 9 a.m., you're going to miss people who on the West Coast just don't want to wake up that early. You put it in your bio. IG Live with Angela. I talk to amazing people Monday to Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Join me for my next session live. You start training people because it's all over the map. People don't know when you're coming in, coming out. But if they know to tune in every weekday at 1 o'clock, you start training people to come back, right? So even with mine, like people, I don't have it in my bio, but I do it consistently at 2 o'clock. I've avoided it from my bio mostly because of travel and stuff, although like I'm not traveling right now. But I also have a lot of other stuff that I put in my Instagram account besides these lives, right? I don't promote these lives actually at all. Like there's no content going up talking about the lives apart from seeing clips from older lives. So you put it in your bio. Join me for an awesome conversation with like what's the theme of the conversations? What do you want people to feel afterwards?
Yes, I want them to be able to feel heard, that their message has had a place a place where they can come and share it.
But for the audience, what do you want them to feel when they watch your IG lives?
Inspired. I want them to feel inspired and like they've learned something, or they're inspired, or that they're encouraged to pursue their dreams, and that they can see that, they see that other people see that the people that I do have on are still in the process, and that they're not necessarily, so successful that they've forgotten, what it's like to just begin.
Great. So step 1 is you update your bio. You commit to going every day. IG Live with Angela. You can work on the wording, but join in Monday to Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern for an inspiring, educating conversation that will encourage you to pursue your dreams. That's your bio, right? See you at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, so this is the thing. So I have it right now set up so it's like a show, like I ask questions and things like that. Mm-hmm. But are you saying that would be different?
No, that's your show. You still run your show. I just want you to have a consistent schedule for the show.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like every show, when you go and tape a show for, whoever, so Oprah Winfrey show, she has like production schedules.
Okay, so I still get the pictures, I can still do the promos and things like that. So how would you lead up?
Okay, yeah, so we're going to work on that.
Okay.
So, but first is having a schedule. One, you committing to doing it every day. And if your guest cancels or whatever, then you monologue for 10 minutes. Oh,
gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Right? You monologue. Sure. But just to get it up, even if it's for 5 minutes, like hey, I had a guest all planned for today, but they couldn't make it last minute, or I couldn't figure out how to book a guest for today that was a really inspiring story to share. So I just still want to share that. I still show up. And I don't even know what I'm going to talk about today, but I want to honor my commitment to me and to you to show up and to try to make something happen. Today's Monday, and on Monday, normally what I do is, just you take me inside something. Okay. But having the goal of this is, how do I get more people watching my show? So part of that is having a consistent schedule with your show so people know when to show up, right? Okay. I've hopped on a bunch of yours. I've seen you interview, some friends and people who I haven't met too. And I try to, when I see you online, I try to, show some love. But I don't know when you go out either, right? It'd be good for me to know, like, hey, IG Live with Angela. Oh, 1 o'clock. Okay, I'm eating something. I could hop in, right? Okay, so that's your bio, right? Okay. Commitment, schedule, and bio. Next, you promote the show in your stories. So on the day of, or even the day, the evening before, both, you could talk about who you have coming up. I'm so excited for my guest tomorrow. It's Nick Tabor. It's his birthday. We're going to talk about, XYZ. Okay. And you can have a couple posts, like how you met Nick, what inspires you about him, what about his story that that drew you in, whatever you feel about your guest, you're talking about it, and then lean in on the curiosity of, like, I'm really curious to know how Nick does X, and so we're going to talk about this. And you have some context on your guest, but obviously not as much as you would have after the conversation, right? Okay. Stories are great for immediate attention and promotion. Posts are what I want you to do afterwards. So after you talk with Nick, teach me something. Tell me what you learned from the lessons. Show a picture of you and Nick, and then obviously you're not together because it's an IG Live, but you could take like a screen cap of this, right? And then the 3 most important lessons that you learned from Nick's story, or that the audience can learn from Nick's story. So you think the posts are not promo, because promo posts go nowhere if it's just promo. Nobody sees it. Your own audience won't even see them. Saying like at 1 p.m. I'm going live with Evan, 2 p.m. I'm going live, nobody's going to see it. Okay. Because anything promotional, it just doesn't take off in the algorithm. Okay. So the posts have to be value, and I would do it the day after, or just the evening of. So you talk with Nick that night, or the next day you tell me what you learned from Nick. And you can also say at the end, like, every day I have these conversations Monday to Friday at 1 p.m. sharing knowledge and information to help you go chase down your dreams, but value, like whether you want to do 3 lessons or 5 lessons or your 10 takeaways or some kind of consistent theme that you took from Nick that you learned personally. And then the promotion of what's coming up next is in the stories of you doing 3 to 5 stories talking about who's coming up next and why. So 3-part strategies: bio, talking about it, being consistent, Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Stories to promote the next one coming up, and posts to talk about the ones that just happened, and sharing the lessons and reminding people to tune in for the next one.
Thank you. I love it. I love it. I have one for this Thursday.
So who's Thursday?
Mary Ellen Saganovich. And I I think because of everything that's happened recently, like I'm not fully prepared. And
okay, but what do you like about Mary Ellen?
I like that she brings a lot of hope and truth and her message, and she shares that. But I haven't been able to read her book, so I have it today. So
But
I want to.
you don't even like. Why did you want to bring her on?
Why do I want to bring her on? Because she has a good message of hope and truth, and it speaks to my heart.
Okay, how did you find her?
I found her through Cyrus. I think she follows Cyrus.
Yeah. And she was a guest on his show?
She does. She's on his show every Monday morning.
Oh, every Monday morning. Have you listened to one of the shows?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Did she say anything on that show that like made you super connect to her?
She does, because the way that she talks about, she's very articulate, and I admire that a lot, because I have such a hard time speaking. I feel like I have such a hard time like expressing how I feel and think. So, but she's very articulate and the way that she talks about truth and hope and just love, and she's just really clear about that message, and I love it, and I want to be able to share that too. With.
And what are you hoping to learn from her? Like, if one question that you want to ask her on Thursday.
I mean, it's just when I have questions, but I don't. I mean, it flows, as the conversation goes. How she got started. I mean, I don't. We've talked. She and I have talked a little bit, but I mean, I have my questions as they come. I don't really have them actually written out until I start. I usually don't prepare until like 2 days before, and that's the other thing. Like, you've really helped me so much over the last couple of years, really narrowing down what it is about me that that I really struggle with. And one of the things is just exactly what you said about time management, like really managing, like, when am I going to post? When am I going to do this? And I have figured out, like, a schedule for some things, but just recently, because I do struggle so much in areas, those areas. So and I don't even know if it's a struggle. I think it's become my strength, to be honest. Like, even with her, or in all of my lives, I find that I'm, not really preparing until the 2 days before, but I sit and I really just dive in deep and get to know this person through their, what they're posting, their books, their stories, and I just really get to know who they are. And
so I would say you already, like, all those questions I asked you that you already had answers for. That's the promo. Like, okay. How did you meet her? Oh, I met her. So I'm super excited about this guest that I'm coming up on Thursday. I met her through a mutual friend named Cyrus, and she co-hosts a show with him once a week. And she just brings so much love and energy and hope, and seems to be so articulate. And it's something that I feel like I struggle with a lot. And I'm hoping that on our live chat, we can learn about her story, about how she stays so positive and hopeful, how she's a voice for women. And I'm going to ask her some questions that I think could also benefit you, to encourage you to chase down your dream. That's your post. Like, that's your story. Like, you don't need to read her book to be able to do the promo. It doesn't mean don't read the book, but there is a thing of you already know enough to make the promo, and don't let the perfectionist gene, get in the way there, to say, like, I can only do the promo when I've read her book.
Exactly. And that's what I've been doing. And I keep going back to what you say, and, about, I don't really read books. I mean, I love books. I'll use them as resources. Like, I'll sit and I'll read a chapter here and there, but I've never been a person to read front to back ever. And so I don't want to pretend like I do,
But you don't have to. You already, like, how you just, like, if I was going to do an intro for you, if I'm applying your strategy, and I was going to do a story talking about, hey, tune into my IG live tomorrow or today at 2:00. So tune in. So today at 2:00, I'm so excited. I have this amazing woman named Angela, who I haven't connected with in a while. She's in my Movement Makers program. And the last time I remember being with her, I was walking on this dark street in Puerto Rico, pushing her to launch her interview series on Instagram. And she's been doing it. And I'm so excited to get the update. And I think her story could also really be an inspiration for all of you who want to get going on something, who've got a great idea in your head but are too afraid to take the first step, you have to tune in to listen to my one-on-one with Angela
Thank you
tomorrow.
so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Okay, no, but that wasn't for you. That was a demo of like.
I know, but it's very.
But that's how I would do the promo for it, right? Like I don't really know what you've been up to apart from like I've popped in on some of your IG lives, right? I already have I have as much context on what you've been doing as you already have on the guests that you're bringing in. So you already have enough to tell a story. All you have to do is lean in on what you like about them and what you want to dive into more inside them. So if you love that she's got a message of hope and courageousness, and she's also very articulate and seems to get her message out really elegantly, that's enough as a promo. Post, right? And that could be the day before or even the day up. Depends on what time. Like if you're doing it, if you're doing it like 1 p.m. Eastern, I would do the morning of, because people don't remember. Like if you did it, if I promoted us yesterday, people wouldn't remember. Like some of the hardcore fans would, but it'd be mostly like day of. So that's enough. And then you book more guests. Right? So look at who's following you. How many followers do you have on Instagram?
800.
That's a lot of guests there.
Almost 783, I think.
Yeah, now some people won't have
grateful.
Some people won't have a profile picture. Some people, they don't have their own content up. They have this private account. But inside there are guests for your channel. You look at them and then you say, hey, do you want to be a guest on my channel? So that you can get somebody daily coming up.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's great. And you may not, here's the thing, you may not know anything about the person, right? So, Susan, you saw Susan's profile. Say, hey, Susan, it's Angela. Thank you so much for following me. I really appreciate it. I mean, I've been trying to build this up. I have a lot of insecurities about making this thing happen. And you're one of my first 800 followers. Thank you. I so much appreciate you. Do you want to come on live and do an IG live with me? And then she writes back and says, yes, you figure out the time. Your promo is just, I'm really excited to have Susan come on with me. I honestly don't even know that much about her, but she's one of my first 800 followers. And when I saw her picture, it just made me smile. And I feel like she's a really good person with an awesome story. And I'm excited to get it out there because I think in that it could also inspire you to go off and take action in your life too. Stay tuned. Later on today, me and Susan, let's go. Right? It's like you don't know anything.
But it's funny because when I hear you say that, I think that way and I want to do that. And for some reason, there's a little, I mean, to be honest though, I'm not apprehensive any longer. Like I am ready. I want to do it. I've like confidence. My confidence is good. I'm ready. And so everything that you're saying is just affirming that what I'm thinking is okay to do. Like, I think I don't know why I need permission, but it's almost like, oh, why do I need permission for that? I don't. Why do I need an affirmation for that? I don't. I can do what is in my heart because that's what I'm encouraging others to do is what is on their heart. So I need to remember that when I'm doing it. So.
And you share it and then share it. Even in your intro, like you may not know anything about Susan, but as you intro her to your show, you just say whatever you like about her. It's like, Susan, I know we don't know each other very much. I mean, we don't know each other at all. I mean, you may have followed my content, but I looked through my pictures of people who are following me and your smile just popped off the page and it made me want to DM you. And I'm just super pumped to get into your story. Thank you so much for being here. That's your intro. Like you don't have to go and research them and spend hours reading their books and because you just lean in with what you genuinely feel about them and then share. And that's going to be a much better intro. Like I think of all the interviews that I do every week, the people who read my official bio, it's so boring to sit there and listen to them read my official bio. Instead of saying, Evan, man, I love you so much because you stand on the trampoline. Because you stand on the trampoline all day long. And I've always wanted to stand on the trampoline, but my family thinks I'm crazy for doing it. Like that's so much better an intro than he wrote these 4 books and he has this many views on, right? So all you have to do is find some connection point to the person. And if you've chosen them, you've selected them to come on, there is a connection point.
Yes.
It's just expressing what's in your heart so that they feel the connection point and your audience does too. And then it'll lead to an even better conversation than if you read their official bio and we're trying to be too perfect.
Love it. Thank you so much.
All right. So updating that. So committing to go daily, at least Monday to Friday, updating your bio, stories the day of to promote what's happening, right? And you can hold, you have 15 seconds for a story, but you can go for a minute talking about it. Just hold it down and talk about who's coming up and why. Tag them so they can share it too, right?
Yeah.
They might tag them in, like if you're holding it, tag them in not just the first one, tag them in all 4 of them. Like if you're doing 4, tag them in all of them so they can just share it with their audience if they have an audience. And then after the interview, you summarize the most important lessons learned or single lesson learned and put that as a post to your Instagram. Yeah, those 3 things. Yeah. And then just go. I mean, and you're doing it. I know you're doing it. I mean, compared to the Angela from Puerto Rico when we talked way back and you were just like, you only had done 1 or you hadn't even started. It's
great.
You
encouraged me to do to go live and push through that fear. And once that happened, it was like, oh, wow, this is really good because it was helping me help other people to go live too for the first time. I had a few people do that and it was really good. So
I see in the chat, we got Katya Stoletny. Is that how you pronounce it? Katya, listen, Katya, here's what's going to happen. Katya, I want you to go on IG Live with Angela's show. I want you to go on IG Live with Angela's show. And if you go on IG Live with Angela's show, I'll also give you a 25-minute Instagram Live coaching session like this.
Awesome. Yes.
Okay, so DM Angela, or Angela, take a screenshot of that so you get Katya Stoletny. Hope I pronounced that okay. And build the momentum. Build the momentum. Okay. You're so close. It's like these last limits of belief systems that you have to break down to actually go off. And I think you can have great conversations and pull out so much amazing things from people that it becomes a gift that you can share with the world.
So I have a quick question. I don't know how much, I know you're ready to go. So you have so many people that of course you're bringing on. I'm like, oh, I want that person to come. So now I can do that. And now I have there's so many people. I'm like, I'm going to reach out to that person because they're amazing. And I love it. So thank you so much.
Yeah. And then look for connections, right? Like look at, who's the woman again? What's her first name on Thursday that you're bringing on?
Mary Ellen.
So then go look at her Instagram. Like if you have a great conversation, go look at her Instagram and see who's following her.
Okay.
And then you can message them. Say, hey, we have Mary Ellen on the show. I'd love to help share your story.
This is so good. I'm so excited every day. This is so good.
Yeah. But you also have 800 of your own followers that you can message.
I love my people.
Yeah. Like how many is that in a month, right? Like 20, 22 or something a month?
I don't know. I failed math. I don't know.
How many weekdays are there in a month? Something like 22, 23. That's you can get just from, without even having to go to cold people. You can get that just from your audience. And I'm sure lots of people would love to come on. And like Nick said, I'd love to come back and be a guest. Like I'm sure you can get repeat guests as well to hear the update. Like I'm pumped that you're back. It's like, oh, what's the update from when we talked in Puerto Rico, a couple months ago. I love it.
Thank
Keep
you.
Crushing it, Angela.
Thank you so much. Love you guys so much.
If you want to see another awesome one-on-one I did with an entrepreneur just like you, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.